Welcome to Change, sponsored by the Senior Bond of Schaumburg, where nutritious meals, friendly peers, and social activities are available every day of the week. Under the able direction of Marina Lvovich, the cost and location are available to all. Today's program is going to be on motherhood, and I'd like to introduce our panel. We have Katie Garcia, who was born in Alabama but now lives in Hoffman Estates. She is the owner and manager of Ricardo's Restaurant. She has 5 children and 2 grandchildren. We have Susie D'Amico, who was born in Chicago, a native, but now lives in Streamwood. Get this, she has 4 children, 13 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren. And then we have the youngster of the bunch. We have Marina Lvovich, who was born in Kiev, Ukraine, now lives in Wheeling, and she's the Senior Service Coordinator of the Bond of Schaumburg. She has 2 young children, so we do have an array of experience that we can look at. Well, we know that Lynn McDermott Rickett in Reminisce magazine's Our Nearest and Dearest said, "Our mother is the center of our universe. We knew we were loved and we appreciated her sacrifices." And it's so fitting in this country and in the world that we set aside one day a year to celebrate the commemoration of these wonderful women who are mothers. However, although mothers have been with us through Earth's history, it's only in the past 100 years that it has become a national holiday. And we have Anna Jarvis to thank for that. In 1905, when her mother passed away, Anne Reeves Jarvis, she thought that mothers should be honored in a special way. And she wanted to continue the work that her mother had started. And in 1910, as a native of West Virginia, they were the first state to celebrate Mother's Day and were followed by several other states. But it was in 1914 with Woodrow Wilson when he signed a proclamation that Mother's Day would be celebrated on the second Sunday of May as a national holiday. And although Anna Jarvis was very influential, she was very unhappy with the commercialization of Mother's Day. She did not like the selling of cards and flowers, and up to the end of her life, she rallied against it, boycotted it, and tried to have laws passed, so forth and so on. But thankfully, thanks to her early efforts, we celebrate this wonderful day. I know memories of my own mother bring back thoughts of love, appreciation, sacrifice, and learning. She was a woman to remember and will always be a part of my life, although she's passed on to eternal life a long time ago. What is the fondest memory of your mother?
Oh, my fondest memory of my mother was the fact that she insisted on us being very appreciative from other people and to respect people. You had to respect everybody that came into our house. Even if they weren't related to us, we always called them aunt and uncle.
Right. Or Mr. and Mrs.
No, it was always aunt and uncle. I had more aunts and uncles than you can shake a stick at. And of course, they insisted on it. And of course, we always sat around my mother whenever we went anywhere. And of course, you couldn't touch none of the food unless she gave you the eye. But she was very sweet about everything and very stern about everything, too. So, I mean, we learned an awful lot from my mother. She was very sweet, very beautiful lady. Mm-hmm. She never wore any makeup, and she was a foreign woman. But she adapted herself to the American way, and she was just beautiful. I mean, there were times when we didn't agree on everything, but she insisted she was right and we weren't. So, you know how mothers are.
Oh, yes.
Marina?
Well, you know, I tend to think of my mom as Superwoman.
Oh.
Except she doesn't wear a costume.
Oh, okay.
She's an all-around lady. My fondest memory was probably waking up Sunday morning and she was already busy in the kitchen, scrambling, some eggs and making a warm apple pie and drinking her black coffee.
Oh.
No sugar, no cream. And for some reason, as a little girl, I always thought, I said, one day I'm going to be like my mother.
And make an apple pie on Sunday morning.
Right. But she was very feminine, and I learned a lot about how to be a woman, how to be a good person by watching her, how she hosted parties, how she interacted with others. I could always see her as a role model for myself.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
I hope she's listening out there.
Oh, well, I really
I'm sure she is.
hope so, Katie.
Well, I'd say what I learned from my mom and some of my fondest memories are that my mom was always true to who she is as a person, and whether that's right or wrong, and I think all of us as mothers that sometimes what we do isn't always right or wrong, but being sincere about who she is and teaching me to be very genuine as a person. And a lot of that was she was always caring to people, giving to groups, and I think that's something that I've carried on in my life, and I'm very proud of that.
I think all of you, if your mothers were here, I'm sure that they would be blushing. That is really a wonderful tribute to all of our mothers and our parents, and I think it is something that shines through us as
Right,
their
it
children, because we do carry on tradition, what we learn as a youngster, which is really something. What do you suppose is, was there any special way that you celebrated Mother's Day when you were young?
Well, my mother was a foreign lady, so Mother's Day really wasn't a holiday as far as she was concerned. We did give her flowers. She loved to have flowers delivered to the house so the neighbors could see they were being delivered. That's the only reason she wanted flowers delivered. So we used to have them delivered by somebody else, not ourselves. We always had florists bring them in for her.
Right.
So
Well,
she can show them off to the neighbor.
Right.
Make her feel special.
Make her feel,
Right.
yes, right, that her kids
Well-
respected her and everything.
Well, I think respect really has a lot to say, and it's been said a mother understands what a child does not say, and William Ross Wallace said that the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. We've explored our childhood and our mother's influence on us. Now let's take a look at yourself. And there have been good times, bad times, happy times, sad times that we as mothers have experienced with our children. And Hillary Clinton said it takes a village to raise a child. Bob Doyle said it takes a family to raise a child, and I say it takes a special person, usually, but not always, a mother to raise a child. What did you enjoy most when you were with your children or are with your children? What do you enjoy most?
For me, it's the mystery and the magic of them having their personalities being unfolded before your eyes, and as much as you're trying to raise them in a certain way and direct them, that they're creating their own path. And I love the mystery, and as my kids are in high school, I am so excited to see what they're going to do with their lives, and my older stepchildren, how they've developed their lives. And I think that is, for me, I love people and I love them taking their own course. I don't like really controlling it. I like seeing what they're going to do with themselves.
Is anybody interested in going in the restaurant business?
We might have one. We're hoping for one, so yeah.
You know, it's always hard when a family has a business.
Right.
Is there going to be someone to carry on?
Yes.
But they'll have to learn to cook first.
Yes, one of
Okay.
them's already started, so a couple of them have dabbled in it, so however it works out. So
Very good.
Their mother has such good skills. I'm sure she's passed something
well, so
along.
do you, Marina, because you've been passing on quite a bit to us at the barn. What do you enjoy doing with your youngsters? What are their ages again?
My son is 8 and my daughter's going to be 3, and I enjoy bedtime.
Why?
Why? I think it's one time during the busy day that I actually get to be alone with them, and I get to listen to their stories and what they learned throughout the day and what they liked and what they didn't like. They're quite the babble little mouths, and I get to snuggle with them and hold them, and boy, sometimes watching them grow just seems like time passes by just like that. So I enjoy it, and I enjoy the quiet time that comes after as well.
Yes. And Susie, you're an old-timer with this particular viewpoint. Can you tell us something of your experience?
Well, my experience is that I was a working mother. I didn't get a chance to stay home with my children because they all went to Catholic school, and I wanted to make sure that everything was taken care of, and they all had good education. On our holidays, we would go to a restaurant to eat, and of course my children learned how to eat lobster, so this is one of the things that they always wanted to order. And then afterwards we would go and we'd go bowling and have bowling tournament against each other. But we always had a good time whenever we all got together. There was always laughing in my house. The boys were always teasing one another about different things and everything, and they were teasing their sister. But it was a lot of fun and a lot of laughter in the house, which I appreciated.
Is that what turned your hair gray?
No, that's natural.
Oh, that is really nice. And I think enjoying being with children really is something that we all look forward to. Can you tell us of a time that your child or children did something special for you?
Oh, I can think of a few things. Last Mother's Day, again, my kids are small, so you have to appreciate everything that they do. I wake up on Sunday morning. It was real early, and my son woke me up, and my daughter was holding a tray, and it was breakfast in bed. I said, oh my goodness, wow. I look on the tray with one eye open, and it's a bottle of wine and chocolate. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy! And thank you. And I said, later on in the day, I said, what on earth, why would you think that Mommy would like wine and chocolate for Mother's Day? And he says, well, every time Daddy wants to do something special for you, he brings wine and chocolate. So I thought that's what you liked.
Well, that's a good example. They would fit into my household.
Yes, so that was quite special for
Very
me.
nice.
Unforgettable.
Yes, I can imagine. And Susie?
Well, on my 80th birthday, there was a surprise party for me. And the biggest surprise was behind the door when I walked into the house was my son from Texas. He had flown in for the special birthday because it was special for the whole family. So this was the biggest surprise I ever had, and I thought it was wonderful.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh yeah, we were all in tears.
Oh, I can well imagine. And how about you, Katie?
this sounds funny, but once my son, when he's very little, told me that he loved me third.
Oh.
But the reason being was that he said first he loved God, and then he loved Jesus, and then he loved me third. And he said, God made the whole world, and you just made me. And as a mom, it made me feel so good because I felt like he had all the right values, and he saw the world in a perspective for such a young boy that was great. So
he has his priorities.
Yes.
Great.
That was nice.
That is really something. Oh, I can remember my husband took my kids out, and they wanted to buy me a jar full of malt balls because I liked them. By the end of the day, the malt balls were gone, and I didn't even have one. So Daddy took them out again, bought it, and said, that's it. They couldn't touch it. Okay, thelaughingcolors.com has a cute little poem that really fits into our lives. Dirty dishes prove I feed my family. Full trash cans mean I clean up after them. Messy floors means that I let them do what they want to have fun. A pile of unfolded laundry means I keep my family in clean clothes. Wet bathroom means that my kids took a shower. So the next time you walk into my house and see a mess, think twice before you judge. If you come to see us, come on in. If you're coming to see my house, make an appointment. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. A tradition for Mother's Day is to give our mothers a little gift as a token of our love. And I'd like to introduce our guests for today. We have Ree Kivla, Marketing Director for the Visiting Angels, and she's going to demonstrate how to make a simple bouquet of flowers to present as a gift. Welcome, Ree.
Thank you. Well, you know, we get these wonderful bouquets, and sometimes they just come to us in these beautiful plastic bags from the local grocery store, and they might look like this, and you really don't know what to do with them. So this will help you. And basically, just you need a few simple tools: scissors, some clear cellophane tape, a sharp knife, and maybe some cutters. And what you'll do is start with a clean vase. We all have these vases somewhere under the kitchen sink. And I start by creating a grid at the top of the vase. And if you can see, it's just an X, and it just gives a little stability of where to put your stems. And then I take more tape and I secure this grid by applying it around the lip of the container. So now I have a nice base as to where I can put my flowers. And I've done that already on this vase. So you can't see it, it's clear cellophane tape, and that's kind of a little secret tool, so you can do that. And then what I do is I always purchase, when I get a big bouquet, if somebody gives me a bouquet, I always purchase some greenery, which is called leather leaf, and you can get it behind the counter at Jewel or wherever you go, and it just adds a nice fullness to your vase, and it really gives everything some new life. So I pre-cut these flowers, and these are hydrangeas. I measured, and I wanted to make sure that they kind of were, it's a heavier flower, so it sits at the base of the container, and I just put them in. I've already put these pumps in, so they kind of give a nice little framework, and again, you know, I'm just putting these in to kind of fill up the vase. And when I get these flowers, they all have the greenery at the stem. I want to rip all of that off. I don't want any greenery under the water line because it breeds bacteria, and that's what discolors the water and makes it look muddy and cloudy. So we're just going to keep building and adding, and you know, try to keep your heavier flowers, like I said, at the base. The alstroemeria that I have, I usually clean up some of the leaves. You don't need all this greenery. The water in the vase needs to feed the flowers, not the greens. So we want to make sure that those you know, get the nutrients from the water. And again, I pre-cut everything, and when I cut my flowers, I use a very sharp knife, and I cut on an angle so that I have a nice point, and that makes the flower stem, it won't land and lay flat at the base of the container. So it can drink up more water that way because it's cut on an angle.
And I notice you have different heights.
I have different heights. So my lighter, smaller stems will go up higher in my arrangement. You could put tulips in here. You could put some sticks in here. And again, some greens. This came in the bouquet. I'm stripping off my water. I'm giving it a fresh cut, and I'm putting it in because I want to add some height now. I'm using different textures, different shapes, different colors. We want to make it interesting. And you can use, you know, whatever colors suit you, but if you go back to your color wheel and you think about your opposites, that will create some drama. So a lot of times I'll go out in the yard and I'll just get some twigs and add those in. And that creates a lot of height and shape. And my next best friend is baby's breath.
You can buy this as part of your, you buy 3 bouquets for whatever the price is. But always get a little bit of the baby's breath, because it's just going to add a whole different dimension to your piece. It's going to give it that fullness and that weight, the volume of just letting it look like a big arrangement. So I cut these, and I'm just going to keep adding and putting in. And before you know it, it looks like a really big and beautiful arrangement. And you just keep adding.
Well, thank you, Ree, and I'm sure we're going to have many budding bouquet makers. It's just start with the heavy, lighter, and higher. Well, thank you very, very much. Why don't you stay and participate in our last question? What would you advise parents today to teach their children?
Well, I really believe that having a strong faith is important, and a connection with the Lord. So I would really instill that, however that looks, if it's reading the Bible, going to church, anything like that. And then also playing, not with the electronics that are available today. I have nothing against electronics, but go out and play, because, it's okay to get dirty, scuff up your elbows and knees. It's just fine.
Love the outdoors.
Right.
And Susie?
Well, I would teach the children today, like she says, put your electronics away. They don't speak to anybody anymore. You go to a party, everybody's playing their electronics. I refuse to go to any parties anymore because of that, and I told my sister that. Last time I was there, they were playing with their electronics because her daughter was showing her how to do it. And I sat there like a bump on a log, and I thought to myself, this is terrible. I'm sitting here and I'm not doing anything, not even talking to anybody. And my granddaughter also got an invitation that said, please leave your phones at home, which I think was a good idea. Kids don't even play anymore, like you say. They don't play at all. So it's one of those things.
Okay, and Katie?
For me, I think I've tried to teach my kids to look at themselves and look at other people from the inside out. And I think when they do that, they'll always see the beauty in the world. And I think that's just a really important thing for them to be confident and to see the world in a different light. The people inside is what matters, and the material things around us really aren't important. And they'll usually, hopefully, grow up to be happy people and non-judgmental.
Well, I all appreciate that, and in conclusion, as a proud mom, I'd like to read 2 little excerpts from letters that my children wrote to me at different times. This says, to my most beautiful mom, you have been my inspiration and admiration forever. Your strong will, creativity, and independence have made me what I am today. I look at you and hope that I may be always caring and show the love and kindness you give to others. You always know how to do little things that really mean so much. As the saying goes, everything I have learned, I learned from my mother. Love always, Jocelyn. And my son, who isn't too, he's good at words. My mother means the world to me. I don't think I could have asked for a better role model. Guidance counselor, confidant, and teacher. Although maybe I have made a few mistakes growing up, she never left my side and always helped me figure out the right path. That's what's so great about my mother, forgiveness. She can take a stress-filled situation with a grain of salt and realize that although one granular issue is bad, there are still thousands of good granular things that happen and are still to come. I love you, Mom. Matthew. May God bless both Matthew and Jocelyn for making my life as happy as it is. And may God bless all the mothers in the world today. And may God bless all, and I hope to see you all at the barn soon. And we are having a Flag Day picnic on June 12th, Friday, at the Municipal Center, and we'd like to invite everyone to come. You can purchase your tickets at the barn any day of the week, and stay for lunch, please. Thank you, and God bless all.